What will people say about you at your funeral? Are they going to make up lies and try to pinpoint like the few good things that you did? Or are you going to be a man of integrity that people could speak highly about you when you pass away?
Everyone wants to be their own business owner and work for themselves. You're never going to work for yourself. You're always going to work for somebody else. I work for my employees, team members, my investors, my renters. I'm always working for somebody. We have to be accountable to other people besides ourselves.
Welcome to another episode of the Profitable Path podcast. I am your host, Marco Cabrera, and today we have a special guest, Tarry Summers. He is a real estate developer, entrepreneur, and motivational speaker. With his diverse background in real estate, fitness, hospitality, and network marketing, Tarry brings a unique set of skills to the table. So get ready for an inspiring conversation. Let's dive in. Tarry, how you doing, my man?
Good, man. I don't know where that intro's from, man. I have no idea.
Hey, we read your bio, bro. We've been following you on social media. So yeah, man, we see that
I didn't know I was a network marketer. I'm just pyramided everywhere.
You're just doing your thing, huh?
I guess, man.
Awesome, man. So yeah, why don't you tell us a little about yourself? Like where do you live? I know, we're out of state. That's why we're meeting on Zoom.
Yeah, for sure. Dude, Columbus, Ohio. I like to say I am Columbus, Ohio. I bleed scarlet and gray, born and raised. They never left. But yeah, man, my main business is real estate. I got involved in real estate back in 2010. I liked the idea of passive income. I thought that passive income actually existed. Yeah. And then I got into real estate and then got slapped in the face and figured out it's a big myth. Yeah. But yeah, man, we have a couple hundred houses here in Columbus, Ohio. And I say we, just, even though I'm 100%, I don't syndicate my deals or anything like that. I always use we as in team, and have also a partner in the official gym of the unofficial gym of the Arnold Classic, the Pros Gym, which is right here in downtown Columbus. So my background was in fitness. I was a college football athlete. Got into the fitness arena. Worked my way up into a company for the first 4 years. And so now I'm kind of getting back into on the ownership side of the fitness world. But real estate is always a part of the portfolio, man. Always will be. They say it's very difficult to become a billionaire in real estate. One of the easiest businesses to become a millionaire. So for me, I never really wanted to, I didn't aspire to, be a billionaire. My original goal was, $10,000 a month. If I could just get that coming in passively, then I was doing okay. But yeah, man. So real estate will always be a part of the portfolio.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. So what was your life before real estate? Was it fitness? Like you were an entrepreneur by heart? Like,
yeah, man. So I met a dude at a party. I was staying at a girl's house at the time, and she had a party. And one of the guys that happened to be at the party, he's like, "Hey, man, if you remember my last name, I'll get you a job." And this is 2008 when you couldn't find a job.
Yeah.
So student loans were about to kick in. I'm staring down the barrel of like 810 a month, I think. Mm-hmm. It was like $85,000 of student loans, which, for an exercise physiology degree, that's a pretty dumb move. You know what I mean? It's like getting a psychology degree or like a, basket weaving degree or something that, but, yeah, man, I woke up the next morning all hungover about 5:30, emailed him, then emailed him again. And then that Wednesday I had a job interview, and it was for a sales gig, this place called Urban Active, which was like an LA Fitness or Esporta or one of those big mega Globo gyms.
Yeah.
And, we had the ability to make some decent money selling personal training. And I was like, dude, I don't care if I got to come in at 5. I don't care if I got to stay till 11. Like, I have 810 a month. I got to figure out somehow. And it was pretty much 100% commission. But I put my head down, learned how to sell. Dude took me under his wing. I worked for him for like a year and a half, and he taught me how to sell, and worked my way up in that company, learned how to become a manager, started reading books, and just started to kind of learn the business world through that career.
Wow, that's awesome, man. So, all right, so you step into the fitness, you get a job opportunity, you got tons of debt, right? You start learning, management and team management, right? Sales at the same time.
Yeah, for sure, man. The first year and a half I was there, I was just selling. Then once I got my first promotion as like a sales manager, which being a sales manager is so easy. All you're doing is motivating top line. You don't
Yeah.
have to worry about, we didn't have to worry about payroll. We didn't have to worry about cost of goods.
Yeah.
We're just like, hey, go pull people off of treadmills, give them the best workout of their life for 30 minutes, sell them a 12-month contract, and then we would get paid like 15% of of the total contract value. So if you
Oh,
sold
wow.
someone $4,000,
Yeah.
that was like $500 for that 30 minutes.
Wow.
So there was it was a lot of work for sure, a lot of tact, but very high pressure sell for sure. But definitely, it taught me how to become aggressive.
Nice. That's awesome, man. So, all right. So, yeah, you're climbing up the ranks. You're learning the business. What made you want to get into real estate after, since you spent so much time in fitness?
Yeah, dude. I mean, I probably had like, I don't know, $3,000 or $4,000 saved up. I didn't spend money. Spent money on energy drinks and things to keep me awake.
Were you doing the training also, or you were just
No, I
selling?
didn't do. I just sold it. I
Okay,
just sold
got it.
training.
Got it.
So I didn't actually train anybody. I just sold it. And then there was a team of trainers that would then train these people.
Yeah.
But I had like 3 or 4 thousand bucks saved up, and then I became a manager. And I remember my first check was like, for 2 weeks worth of work, was like $5,400, and I'm like, holy smokes!
Uh,
Brand new gym.
yeah.
I'm doing really well. I hired a great team. I taught them how to sell. And my thing back then was, I can go and do all the work and kind of keep all the money, but if I don't teach these people how to eat for themselves,
Mm-hmm.
I'm never going to be able to relax, or I don't even want to say the word relax, but I'm never going to be able to have anything long term in this business. And I've always thought long term.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that first check, I mean, after my gross pay, it was like a $3,000 deposit or something stupid. And I'm like, holy smokes, like, what do I do with this?
Yeah.
Um, and then I only made that money for maybe 6 months, but it was enough for me to save up, close to 10 grand. And, but I bought my first house, then bought another house, directly after that. And, it was, I don't know, the first rental property, I think I had to put down like 11 grand. And then the first actual house, which was like a house hack, I lived in it.
Yeah.
I had to put down like 5 grand, something like that. But then I had to put money into these houses too.
Yeah. Of course.
But that was, for me, I'm like, listen, I'm buying a house. Like the first house I bought was $79,423.
Wow.
And I'm looking at this house. I'm like, this house sold for $160,000 at one point,
Mm-hmm.
because foreclosures were rampant back in, 2011.
Yeah.
10. And but the problem was you couldn't get any money. You couldn't get financing.
Mm-hmm.
You especially as an owner occupant, you had to make sure there was flooring in the house, all the pipes worked. Like you had to find the perfect house to get it financed, because if there was anything wrong with it,
Yeah.
that was anything besides cosmetic, no one would give you a loan on these things. And
Yeah.
lending money was not a thing. Private money was not really a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
Hard money didn't exist back then. So now the pendulum has shifted to where everyone knows how to go out and borrow money, and
Yeah.
hard money companies are everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But there's less and less deals. So the pendulum shifted where we got money in the system, but no deals.
No
Whereas
inventory.
back then we had all these deals, but
Nobody was
unless
lending.
you had cash or you were older, there was no way to get financed.
Yeah. Wow. So what made you want to get into real estate to purchase your first house or house hack? Did you go like a networking event? Somebody guide you?
No, man, I had my entrepreneurial epiphany was down in Key West. I had like one of the best days of my life. Was with a girl at the time, and I just remember watching the sun go up, and I watched the sun go down. There may and may not been some drinks involved in this whole thing, but
Sounds like they were in Key.
yeah, man, it was a great day. Listened to a lot of great music, but I just remember, like, when you're working, and there's no like end to it, right? And you have a whole day to where like you're just literally just kind of watching the day go by. I'd never done that before, especially not in paradise. So that was like, I was like, dude, I got to save as much money as I can to be able to like have more of these type of moments, right? And have more freedom and time freedom and,
Yeah.
and that type of thing. And like, in that gym business, I was working, everyone's like, oh, I'm working 18 hours a day, blah, blah, blah. It's impossible to work 18 hours every single day.
Yeah.
But, I would go in, sometimes 5, 6 in the morning. I wouldn't leave till 9, 10, 11 at night. And that was pretty regular, at least a couple times a week. But it was a 9 to 9 job.
Yeah.
And I just knew there's no way I could do that forever. So for me, I actually, I talked to a guy who had like 30 some rental properties and, great life, very frugal human being. But he said, just as long as you buy real estate, you hang on long enough, eventually you'll have some freedom. You'll have some time freedom, and you get passive income from people paying you rent. And they always go up in value, not over the short term, but if you're in this game for 10, 20, 30 years, your properties are going to be worth more in 30 years than what they are today.
Yeah.
So that was kind of like an eye opener for me. And then when I kind of started looking at the real estate market, I'm like, there's all these deals, but no one was lending money. It was like impossible. So I just knocked on every bank's door. Like there was in Columbus, Ohio, we call it Bankers Row. And there's like 8 banks, literally just different community banks all across from each other. And I would just walk in, introduce myself and see who would, who might take me on. Right. And who would give me a chance to get a loan.
Yeah.
And then, a bank might do a loan or two for you and then they're kind of done. But yeah, so I kept pounding every bank's door until someone would give me a loan.
Wow, that's awesome. And doing that's how you were able to get your first house. So when you were talking to this guy that had a bunch of rental properties, was that at the same trip where you're watching the sun go up and down?
It wasn't. It was like the very next week.
Got it.
Just kind of by chance.
But that moment kind of showed you the possibilities of like happiness, I guess, right? You felt happy that weekend and you wanted more of it.
Man. For sure. I mean, if you're in Florida and you're at the beach and sipping some Mai Tais and watching the sun, just go up and watching the sun go down and being able to see the sunset, it's the most basic thing, but it was a beautiful day. And I didn't realize it in the moment or the time. And I've tried to like go back as I've done more and more of these podcasts and put myself out there on social media to like pinpoint a moment. And that was definitely the moment.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. So with that being said, like, what's your why? What's your motivation? Because you seem like very motivated, self-motivated to achieve the goals and everything that you've built so far.
I mean, today it's family, man. Family is everything. Family's number one. Okay. It's, being a person that you would want your kids. Like, for me now, it's like I want my kids to have great things to say about me.
Yeah. That's good.
And not that I'm nice or whatever, but I want my kids later to be able to have great things to say about me. I don't care what you think now because, half the time they're pissed off at me for, telling them what to do or getting on them about their chores.
They'll get it later. They'll understand later on in life.
Yeah, for sure. But, for me, number one is like, just making sure that, I become the man that I need to become that they'll want to, model after. And, you always want your kids to be better than you.
Yeah.
And more well off than you. So, I mean, it's number one motivation.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Our pastor always says it like, what will people say about you at your funeral? Are they going to make up lies and try to pinpoint like the few good things that you did? Or are you going to be a man of integrity that people could speak highly about you when you pass away? If you're looking to dive into the world of real estate, we have the perfect tools and resources just for you. Our carefully selected top secret document library is packed with proven documents to streamline your transactions and help you navigate the real estate market with confidence. Additionally, we offer a comprehensive wholesale 101 masterclass designed specifically for beginners. In this course, you'll learn everything you need to know about finding affordable properties, negotiating lucrative deals, and building a network of eager buyers. We're here to empower you with the knowledge and skills necessary to flourish in the real estate industry. But that's not all. The Real Estate Investor Secret Vault is your gateway to unlimited success. Our marketing matrix and calculators will assist you in making informed decisions, ensuring maximum profits effortlessly. So don't miss out on this incredible opportunity to kickstart your real estate journey. Join us today and unlock the secrets that will propel your real estate career to new heights. Log on to investorsvault.club and get started now. Now let's get back to our program. So why don't you tell us about a difficult challenge that you faced in real estate and how you overcame it?
What day? Every day, right? you have I mean, the peak, I had more than 400 houses here in Columbus.
Wow.
And, now we're down to, 240 and some change. And we're always buying, selling, trading real estate,
Yeah.
at week in, week out. But, when you have, we have a, obviously the buy and hold business, we have a flipping company, we have a construction company, we have an acquisitions company, we lend money, we have a lending, small lending company that's getting, we're doing more and more with that. Dude, gosh, I mean, every single day, 2 days ago, we had, I don't know how many frozen and busted pipes across the city, and,
All at once, right?
yeah, out of our maintenance techs, one guy's off having a baby, one guy's in the hospital, one guy is just a painter. He can't, it's not really in his wheelhouse.
Yeah.
One of your guys isn't answering the phone and you got busted pipes everywhere. What do you do?
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, there's always something, and you get to a point to where your number one job as the CEO, the boss, the owner, entrepreneur, whatever, is the ability to solve problems.
Yeah.
Like, your ability to solve problems that's your job.
Yeah.
And so when many people look at, I mean, you're just getting shit on every day because, you have to solve. And so my job now is to try to teach my team how to solve the problem,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Hey, don't come to me. You guys know what the problem is. You guys know what the solution is.
Yeah.
Just go make it happen.
Get it done.
Empowering your team to make decisions and give them the ability to make decisions.
Yeah.
Because if not, it's going to bottleneck up to you. And at this point, it's like, I only want to deal with the bigger problems. I don't need to hear about I don't even want to know about it.
Yeah.
If it's something minor, something small, or an exception to, our process, or I don't need to know about it, guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, biggest, man, COVID was rough. I mean, I remember crying in my bed, my then fiance, but now wife. I'm like, man, this could be the end. But I'm like, dude, it's almost like a nuclear bomb going off, right? Like,
Yeah.
we're all dead at that point.
Yeah.
Then COVID was like, I'm like, dude, I'm going to lose everything. These people don't think they can pay rent, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, everyone's going to lose everything. Like
Everybody.
this, so it's, I don't know. Not that that's comforting, but, you had to be very, very tactful. You had to, we couldn't get into fixed maintenance problems, but then we were getting, letters from the city. And we're like, well, they've got COVID, or this person's got COVID. We can't get in. They won't let us in because the whole family's got COVID. But then you want to give us these issues. So it was just a very, 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 very tough time for sure.
Yeah.
And then people not paying rent, and just going backwards and backwards and backwards.
Yeah.
But 2020 was a very, very, very difficult time.
Yeah, it definitely was. Over here, too, I mean, the lockdowns were super strict. The streets were empty. I'm not sure how it was out over there, but it lasted for a pretty long time, man. Nothing was going on over here in Jersey.
We were, I can only imagine Pennsylvania, Jersey, some of those East Coast states, but, and
blue states.
Ohio, the blue states. We were fortunate, we were a essential business, and I wasn't going to stop working regardless, and I wasn't going to, pay, and then we were expected to pay everybody. I mean, that's just, it was ridiculous, man.
Yeah.
I felt so bad for restaurants, and you're
terrible.
seeing restaurants just now start to go out of business from COVID just because they were in such a large hole, and it could never recover from it.
Yeah, just like the crash in 08, right? Like everybody went through it in 08, but around 2012, that's when you start seeing like them bankruptcy and just throwing in the towels, right? And it's sad to see.
Yeah. Dude, and I was actually at a mastermind in Marco Island this week, and
great name,
one
by
of
the
the
way.
things we talked about was margin of safety. And on my board over here, I don't look at myself as a real estate guy. I don't even look at myself as a real estate investor. I am an investor. I'm not a business owner. I'm an investor.
Yeah.
So when you elevate yourself as an investor, I'm not just looking at my real estate. I'm looking at my stock portfolio. I'm looking at my other business ventures. I'm looking at everything globally as an investor, not as an owner, right?
Yeah.
But the first rule of investing that I have on my board is margin of safety, because it's not a matter of like if, it's a matter of when. There's going to be black swan events.
Yeah.
COVID. How much notice did we have when I really knew it was bad was March 16th, and it was that think it was that Sunday.
Hmm.
Um, Before they shut everything down, we're like, man, this is like getting out of control. They're shutting down this, shutting down that.
Yeah.
And, we have the Arnold Classic here in Columbus, Ohio, and
Hmm.
my gym is the unofficial gym of the Arnold Classic.
Yeah.
They didn't have people coming into um, the Arnold. We lost. I mean, dude, we make so much money during the Arnold. I mean,
Yeah.
that's our money making time
Yeah.
because we have all Ronnie Coleman, Jay Cutler,
Hmm.
Michael Hearn, you name it, they're at our gym.
Yeah.
Um, and none of these people came, and we lost so much money. But there was like a 2 week time frame where you're like, this could get really damn bad. So I mean, that's a black swan event.
Yeah.
So you got to have a margin of safety in your business.
Mhm.
You got to have a margin of safety in your life
Mhm.
because there's going to be things that happen, right? And it's
Yeah.
going to be who has the largest lifeboat, right? And then when people do sink, unfortunately, this is where fortunes are made. But when people sink, that's another man's fortune, right?
Yeah.
So fortunes are won and lost in the bad times,
Yeah.
right? And if you don't have cash, you don't have access to money or the ability to close deals during those horrible times.
Hmm.
You're
Yeah.
just going to be another average investor.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So how do you build like a man to have that safety, a margin of safety, like you're explaining?
Dude, I mean, cash, number one.
Hmm.
Cash and relationship capital. So one of the things I talk about all the time is, the ability to be able to pick up the phone, call somebody and say, hey, man, this is what I got. And they're like, you know what, man, I know, like, and trust you. I absolutely want to invest with you.
Yeah.
If you don't have that ability, you haven't dug your well
Hmm.
before you need it, then you're going to come off as, someone that needs money,
Yeah.
not someone that's, so you want to bank favors, man. You want to bank relationship capital. And, at any point in time, man, I put this on a Facebook post the other day. In one of my masterminds, I'm like, dude, I could play grab ass with these guys. I can grab the phone and call them whenever I need something. And I guarantee anytime that I go to grab the phone
Hmm.
and I got an investment, these guys are lining up out the door to be able to invest with me.
Yeah.
But these are, relationships that I've banked over many, many years, right?
Yeah.
So you got to be able to have relationships that you can count on, have some cash, and have the ability to be able to take advantage of opportunity. If you don't have the ability to close deals, any salesmanship, the ability to, see because human nature is, oh, I want to sell at the bottom when it's really bad, and then I want to buy at the top when I get FOMO.
Yeah.
And that's kind of why the stock market exists.
Yeah, pretty much in a
Right?
nutshell.
Everyone was buying crypto when it was at the top.
Yeah.
And then now people have been selling because it's at the bottom and they need their money back.
Yeah.
But then they're selling at a 95% loss.
Yeah.
So you have to be able to ride out these tough times, realize that that's the best time to buy.
Hmm.
And at the top, the top, that's the best time to sell is when everyone else is jumping in.
Yeah.
I saw some multifamily. I actually got a picture here. This is one of the multifamilies that I sold. Sold this thing for like 4.6 million.
Nice. How many units in there?
That was 72, I think. It says 70, but I think it was 72. And they sent me this plaque, and I had less than like 2 million on that thing.
Hmm.
But I seen what people were paying for multifamily properties, and I'm like, this is not good. This is not normal.
Hmm.
And that building today is probably worth 30% less because rates are so high.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, when people are, buying, sell.
Yeah.
When people are selling, it's time to buy.
Yeah. So you're constantly diversifying your portfolio, right? Moving depending on the time.
For sure, man, for sure. I mean, like, when you're trying to make money in the beginning, you have to risk it all. You have to go all in.
Hmm.
But eventually, and it depends on your goals, right? You want to be a billionaire, you're going all in for a very long time, right?
Yeah.
Until you get that big exit or, whatever.
Hmm.
But it depends, what you want to feel comfortable with. But eventually, you have to learn how to protect and not just generate. So, and those are two different skill sets. Like,
It is. Yeah.
you can't go all in. Eventually, you can't just go all in on every single thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, eventually, once you get money, everyone's going to pitch you ideas or,
Yeah.
pitch you on the newest crypto. Or
Now you got to keep it.
Yeah, man,
grow
and
it.
now you gotta know how to keep it. That's a
Yeah,
different skill set,
yeah,
and grow it and multiply it,
yeah,
and have your money make its money. Um, but yeah, man, diversification is for suckers in the beginning.
yeah,
But once you get your chip stack, eventually you kind of have to.
yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, it's good, man, because a lot of entrepreneurs, they know how to make money, right? But when it comes to keeping it or reinvesting it to for it to grow in itself, that's a whole nother game plan, you know?
Whole nother game plan, man.
Yeah.
Whole nother game plan.
Yeah. So you manage a lot of businesses. How are you able to be effective in each one to grow them to be successful?
So that's a good question. So the real estate's the main business, man, and I look at it as different divisions or different departments.
Hmm.
And there's some people, our team is probably, I don't know, 30 deep, um, between the construction and the different divisions, if you will.
Yeah.
But there's a core person that oversees each division, right?
Okay.
And even in that, there's people are responsible for certain things.
Hmm.
So it's not that I'm overseeing everything,
Hmm.
right? But I'm overseeing. You just got to create layers, right?
Yeah.
I think there's some book about this, but in the military, you're responsible for four core people. I
Hmm.
forget the name of the book, but and then once you get to five, it's kind of unmanageable, is what they say,
Yeah.
and you need to create another layer.
Hmm.
Forget the name of the book, but anyway, it's so true, man. Like you got to have different layers,
Hmm.
in between you and kind of the end process.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome, man. You really gotta, appoint the right people in the right seat. Like you were saying before, like you learned that early on, and I'm sure you grew on it. You started reading books as far as management, as far as appointing the right people. So yeah, I tell guys all the time, if you want to manage multiple businesses, you got to put the right person in charge and trust them, right? Like you got to encourage them, you got to build up leaders, and that's the only way you're going to succeed with multiple businesses.
Yeah, for sure. And people think it's a set it and forget it.
Yeah.
Listen, I got this shirt on today. I got it for Christmas. Rent's due. But it's not like physical rent, but like you have to pay rent to your guys, your employees. If you are a shitty leader, or you're not personable, or you don't care about their personal life, or I right, wrong, or indifference, just the way I choose to run my business.
Yeah.
My team knows I care about them. You
Mhm.
know, um, one guy's having a baby. I made sure he's got a bunch of diapers, because that was the best gift.
Yeah.
When my child was
Same
like,
here. I'm like,
diapers, it's
yeah.
great.
Or gift cards to
It's
get
one less
diapers.
thing to worry about. Because you're constantly changing these things out.
Yeah.
But you have to take a genuine interest in your people, what their goals are, what their ambitions are,
Hmm.
what they're trying to accomplish as well. So you put the right people there, but people change, right? People grow, they
Yeah.
evolve, or they de-evolve, and you have to kind of you have to you got to shuffle the cards every once in a while.
No, yeah, absolutely, man. So, who are the three main people that have been the most influential to you in your life?
My dad for sure, my mother, and man, this is a tough question, man. I said, without even thinking about it, my dad and my mother. If I had to, like a business person, maybe the guy with 30 some rental properties.
Hmm.
He's definitely influential. I mean, dude, I could go on for days. Some of my mentors,
Hmm.
Mark Evans DM for sure. I'm in his mastermind. He's been like a big brother.
Hmm.
He's gotten me to think differently. Bigger. Everything's bigger, bigger, bigger all the time.
Yeah.
And when you put these self-imposed like regulations on yourself, he kind of takes the governor off.
Yeah. Yeah. It's good.
And not even by what he says, but by what he does. And that it instills confidence in you too. Like a lot of this is just confidence,
Yeah.
right? All mindset. Like it's the belief that you can.
Hmm.
And I mean, it's 90% of stuff in the business world. It's belief in self,
Yeah.
confidence that you can make it happen. If you go to a property and you're not confident the first time that you walk by it,
Hmm.
dude, you're always going to be unconfident about that property. But if you have some confidence going into a deal,
Yeah.
dude, that confidence is going to it's not just numbers and digits on a spreadsheet.
Hmm.
It is for the most part, but if you have confidence that you can do it and, all these different things, like your mindset's going to take that deal to the next level.
Yeah.
If you got a shitty attitude about it, you're probably going to come out with a shitty outcome.
Yeah. Wow, that's good. Yeah, mindset's everything, especially when it comes to entrepreneurship. So, what's some advice that you would give young entrepreneurs who want to get started on their own business?
Dude, get on YouTube. I don't think being an employee is a bad thing. Everyone wants to be their own business owner and work for themselves. And so a couple of things, you're never going to work for yourself. You're always going to work for somebody else. I work for my employees, my team members, my investors, the banks, my renters, my contractors. I'm always working for somebody, right? You're working for your family. Dude, we have to work for somebody else, right? We have to be accountable to other people besides ourselves. Um, so you're always going to work for somebody else. Dude, anything you want to know is going to be on YouTube for the most part, right? Um, get on YouTube University, read books, get in masterminds, work for people for free. When you accumulate money, all you want to do is buy back your time. And then when you got a bunch of time, all you want is more money. So when you're younger, generally you have no money and you have all the time in the world.
Yeah.
Well, give someone that's in the position that you want to be in
Mm-hmm.
what your most valuable resource is, because it's their most valuable resource too, and that's time.
Yeah.
So work for them for free. Figure out how you can add value to their life. You need someone to take you under your wing. Anyone that says that they're self-made is bullshit.
Yeah.
That's no, dude. We've all had mentors or coaches or someone helping us out throughout our lives, regardless whether you think it or not. So that bothers me so much when people are like, "Oh, I'm self-made," or dude, if you have to self-proclaim that you're self-made, you're not.
You're not self-made. Yeah.
It's like someone is self-proclaiming that they're an influencer. Like, no, no. Like it just. But yeah, I mean, like. Dude, get mentors, get around masterminds. The moment that you can pay to invest in yourself, do it.
Mm-hmm.
But make sure you vet the people out that you're investing in, and make sure they're in a place in life that you want to be in.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just chase the next, cool kids group when it comes to masterminds and mentorships.
Yeah.
That's clout chasing, and that's not going to get you anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But just look deeper, man, when you invest in your mentors and masterminds and mentorships.
Mm-hmm.
Dude. Working is completely underrated. It's criminally underrated.
Yeah.
Today, the mantra is, I want to delegate and I want to outsource and I want to, have it just, dude, you have to work things, man. If you delegated and outsourced your marriage, how would your marriage be?
Yeah,
If you
crumble.
delegated and outsourced raising your kids, the world's going to raise your kids. And a lot of people do that by letting them, scroll on this thing constantly.
Well, they're starting to see the effects of that too, right?
Raise your kids, dude. And
Yeah.
it's either the world or it's going to be you.
Yeah.
So anything that you put effort and attention to, it's going to grow.
Yeah.
So, whether that's your business, your money, whatever.
Awesome, man. So what are the future goals for you in 2024?
Man, for right now, I'm doing what the market tells me to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not an investor. I'm like, this is my goals. Again, I'm an investor.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever the market tells me to do, I'm doing.
Yeah.
And it looks like, last year was not a year that we wanted to go out and we wanted to tighten up our business and tighten up everything.
Mm-hmm.
We lost some money in some places. We made a lot of money in some places. We sold a lot of properties, and sitting on a lot of cash because of that. This year, it looks like I'm starting to see some of the cracks start to show.
Okay.
In the system, people are starting to lose properties. People can't afford it. Property taxes are increasing.
Yeah.
Insurance is increasing. Cost of labor, cost of materials.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of guys that bought properties in the last 3 years have never been through a round of CapEx. They've never replaced a roof, a sewer line, 5 hot water tanks, couple furnaces, all in 1 week. And then when they need a couple $100,000 in a week,
Mm-hmm.
they're not going to be able to do it. So they're going to be forced to sell.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm starting to see some of these cracks start to show. So it's going to be a good opportunity to buy, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And again, there's never a bad time to buy. If you're in this game for 30 plus years, there's never a bad time to buy real estate.
Yeah.
So again, growing the business, growing our people,
Mm-hmm.
and just see what the market gives us. And if we we go out and buy $25 million worth of real estate this year, it looks like that's probably going to be the case.
Okay.
So that's what we'll do.
Nice,
If it
man.
tells us that, hey, buy 5 or 10 and keep your team busy, then that's what we'll do.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. So why don't you tell our listeners where they can find you online?
Yeah, Tarry Summers. You can Instagram at Tarry Sums, TikTok Tarry Summers. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel at Tarry Summers, or you find me on Facebook, or you can go to TarrySummers.com.
Awesome, man. Good stuff. Thank you for coming on and sharing the gold and the wisdom with all our listeners. We're going to have all your information where you could click and get in touch with Tarry in our show notes. And yeah, thank you, Tarry. Appreciate the time. All right. See you guys.